Well, good evening, Southeast Texas. Things have quieted down since early this morning. That's good news. Some slick streets still in parts of the lakes area, as you see on our Roofing 911 Skycam network up in Jasper, sponsored by Provalis. A lot of this is going to dry up overnight tonight, even though the temperatures will be falling as the winds remain fairly strong out of the north and drier air comes in at the surface. That'll help get up some of that slick spots there on the road up in the lakes here. I think the roads are going to be fine even in the lakes in the morning, except maybe some elevated bridges and overpasses. And certainly here in the Triangle, no issues with roads at all expected tonight or tomorrow, and certainly not expecting any more precipitation. So that's good news there. Of course, here in the Triangle, we were very fortunate. Our temperature stayed just enough above freezing to keep our precipitation all liquid this morning. And it was beneficial rains too. We saw some 1 to 2 inch rains again in the Triangle overnight last night, even some thunderstorms mixed in with that. And that's helped us out quite a bit on our drought. Now, of course, the lakes area, you didn't see as much rain as a Triangle, but you got some, but certainly putting a nice dent in that drought, that is for sure. Now, the lakes area tonight, you'll be dropping on down into the low to mid 20s. The clouds will help us out a little bit. I think tomorrow night it'll be colder because we will have clear skies and less wind. The clouds helping us a little bit, but still pretty cold across the area, to say the least. And when you factor in that wind, which will show you the wind chills in just a moment, that really cuts right through you, that cold air out of the north. Because remember, that wind is coming right off that ice, especially north of the lakes area. North Texas, Northeast Texas, well, there's more ice on the ground. That wind comes right off of that, right on down into the lakes area and here in the Golden Triangle as well. So lakes area, you'll see some sun tomorrow. May start out with some clouds, and even with some sun, full sun, late morning into the afternoon, we're only expecting highs to be in the upper 30s to around 40 tomorrow, probably topping out around 40, especially here in the Triangle. Weather impact alert for tonight and tomorrow night due to the hard freeze. Of course, no more precipitation in the forecast tonight through Tuesday morning, the impact being a hard freeze. Of course, we have the clouds tonight, but tomorrow night we won't. And of course, don't forget to download our 12 News Plus app, where we'll have all that information on our app as well, plus the 7-day forecast being on there. So it'll be a little bit warmer, looks like, by the middle of the week, and then another pretty strong front comes in at the end of the week, which we'll show you in just a few minutes on that 7-day forecast. The good news about our next cold front at the end of the week, it looks dry. I don't see any threat of any frozen precipitation at all. So that's certainly some good news there. All right, let's take a look. See a lot of low clouds blanketing the area tonight. That helps us a little bit. Boy, it's still awful cold though. 22 in Huntsville. But you got to remember, these areas this far north, they have a lot more ice on the ground. 23 Conroe, Houston Intercontinental, they're at 27. Oh, that's cold for them, even in this time of January. And right along Interstate 10, we're right around freezing, 32 or so. These temperatures in Silsbee and Beaumont, they're actually running too cold. It's actually around 32 degrees. So right at freezing, 34 over in Lake Charles, 34 Jennings, and 32 off to our northeast in Oakdale. Weather headlines, hard freeze tonight. Then again on Monday night, we'll have some warm up as we head toward the middle of the week. Maybe some 50s for highs for a couple days. Then another strong front with a very slight chance of rain comes in on Friday. And that'll lead to some pretty cold temperatures next Saturday and Sunday morning. But as we said a while ago, should be precipitation free. So that is certainly some good news there. We don't want to have to deal with ice again, even if it was just for the lakes area. We don't want to have to deal with that again. All right, the winds. And of course, this is a problem, up in the lakes area because, the ice on the limbs and ice on the wires that come down a lot of times with the wind. This is at 10:30 tonight, still pretty windy out of the north, getting some gust, 18 to 20 at times. Now, these aren't sustained winds. These are gusts, but we could still see some gust in that 18 to 23, 24 mile an hour range even tonight at 10:30. Throughout the night, still pretty windy. It makes for a bone-chilling wind chill temperature in the teens coming up for tomorrow morning. But see that Tomorrow morning, still some gusts, 15 to 16. The winds will slowly come down, good news, throughout the day tomorrow. But like I said earlier, even with lots of sun tomorrow, we're only expecting highs to be around 40 across the area. It is going to be a chilly Monday coming up. Then, of course, we have that hard freeze tomorrow night as well. Notice the winds finally, well, still pretty breezy, even at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, it's going to be a cold day now. As we head toward dark and overnight tomorrow night, you see the winds finally beginning to come down. Gust only at 9, so that's good. Get rid of the winds. But boy, that's going to make for a cold Tuesday morning with lows around 20 here in the Triangle and some mid to upper teens up in the lakes area. But the good news is the roads will be fine in the Triangle tonight and in the morning. You have to get out in the morning. A lot of folks go ahead and back to work tomorrow. Roads are going to be fine. It's just going to be cold. And up in the lakes area, I still think the roads are going to be okay in the morning. Still some slick spots on overpasses and bridges though, but other than that, should be okay. And don't forget your 4 Ps. I'm sure most folks have already taken care of that. People, pet, plants, and pipes. And of course, don't forget about that antifreeze in your vehicle too. A lot of folks forget that and forget about it a lot of times. I need to check on that over the course of the next day or so. When we're seeing some of the coldest weather will be the next 2 nights across southeast Texas. But certainly do not forget the 4 Ps. All right, wind chills. Now these are current wind chills right now. These are current wind chills. They're out of the winds are out of the northwest coming right off that ice and snow way up to our north. It feels like 17 in Jasper, feels like 24 in Orange. So you get the idea. That is some bone chilling wind chills out there right now. It feels like 23 in Lake Charles. So it's going to be this way all night and in the morning too. And even a little bit of wind tomorrow, even when the sun comes out. So at least it'll look better outside tomorrow instead of all the gray clouds. And we'll get the sun eventually. We start out with clouds in the morning, and then we'll see some sunshine. At least it'll look better outside anyway. But bundle up for heading out tonight. Certainly heading out in the morning. Be sure to bundle up. We have Arctic high pressure at the surface, not Pacific. This is an Arctic high moving down from the plains right into northwest Texas. It's 18 right now in Wichita Falls and Childress, 19 Amarillo, Oklahoma City. They're bone chilling now. They are at 12 degrees. They have a lot of snow on the ground. Northwest, see this pink color here, a darker kind of pink and purple shading on the temperature gradients. That's some cold air. There's a lot of snow on the ground up there too. 21 at Fort Smith, 25 Jackson Tupelo. Now one area that was hit really hard with ice was off to our northeast. Let's say from northeastern Louisiana, especially portions of Mississippi. Tupelo, they're at 19, but yeah, northeast Mississippi, extreme northwestern Alabama and southern Tennessee, they got hit pretty hard with the ice overnight, last night into this morning. And several accidents there. You've seen the video from northern Mississippi, southern Tennessee, extreme northwestern Alabama. Not a good situation there, but things will begin thawing out even there tomorrow, and most of that will melt, so that's good there. Out over the west, it's even cold. Midland, Odessa at 19, 24, Pecos 40 in El Paso, and of course we mentioned the teens up in the Texas Panhandle. So it is a cold Sunday night across the deep south and for the most of the country for that matter. You can see on satellite, look at all the low clouds we have in place. That's the old stratus clouds that we had just above the surface all day today. That'll help, like I said, it helps us a little bit on temperatures, but it's still cold. There's still some snow flying. Wichita Falls, another little batch about to move across Dallas. It's finally beginning to taper off a little bit in Oklahoma City, where some areas in Oklahoma have had a foot of snow there. Been a lot. And off to our east, there's the front. Of course, there's the rain over New Orleans into the Florida Panhandle. That's some of the rain that moved through southeast Texas last night and this morning, which has really helped us out on our drought. Some areas have had, over the past 2 rain events, over 5 inches of rain. So that has helped us out quite a bit. The beneficial rains we've had with these last two systems. Thankfully, the coldest air stayed just to our north while the rain was that heavy here in the triangle this morning, but certainly a cold night. And we'll start out with these clouds again tomorrow morning. They'll slowly thin out throughout the morning hours, and eventually we'll see some sun. All right, freeze duration tonight, 27 hours lakes, but because you've been below freezing for most of the afternoon, 19 hours inland, southeast Texas. And for the triangle, Jefferson, Orange, Chambers County, 14 hours below freezing coming up for tonight. So hopefully you've made your preparations, all that I'm sure most folks have. Don't forget to drip a little water, run a little bit of water to keep those pipes from freezing, or if you haven't drained them, one of the two be a very good idea, not only for tonight, but for tomorrow night as well. Now, once we get above freezing tomorrow, because like I said, we'll have highs close to 40, you can turn the dripping off until we get into tomorrow night. And there's tomorrow morning's low, 23, 24 in the lakes, maybe 20 out toward Lake Livingston. Mid-20s along Interstate 10. The clouds are going to help us out a little bit tonight. If we didn't have the clouds tonight, would be around 20 in the morning, so at least be 25. A little bit of help, a little bit better, not much, because tomorrow night we will certainly feel it with no clouds at all. Clouds act as a blanket. We're not going to have that blanket tomorrow night, so imagine how cold it'll be. But once we get through tomorrow night, things start slowly improving. You'll see on the 7-day forecast just a moment. Freeze duration for tomorrow night into Tuesday morning, about 19 hours in the lakes, 16 hours inland southeast Texas, and here in the triangle, about 13 hours tomorrow night. So just remember your 4 Ps. Keep those in mind as well. Don't change any of that. And here's why. Here's Tuesday morning. Mid to upper teens lakes. Triangle anywhere from 18 to 20 along Interstate 10. So cold one coming up. Won't have the blanket tomorrow night. We've got the blanket tonight. The clouds won't have that blanket tomorrow night. It's going to be clear. Going to be cold. And Tuesday, of course, we wake up to weather close to 20 for lows. Will warm to the upper 40s on Tuesday. So some improve there. I tell you what, upper 40s with some sun on Tuesday is going to feel really nice compared to what we've had over the past 18 or so hours anyway. All right, coastal marine forecast, small craft advisory for north winds up to about 25 knots. Water temperatures taking a dive down to 56 in the Gulf. And along the coast offshore now, it's pretty windy. Gusty northwest winds, some gusts up to about 23. And pretty breezy, as we said, and we showed you earlier on the winds coming up for tomorrow. Tonight, mostly cloudy and cold. Clouds help us a little, but still awful cold with a hard freeze tonight. Low 20s to mid 20s lakes, middle 20s along Interstate 10 to near 30 down towards Sabine Pass. Notice the north winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour, keeping wind chills in the teens tonight and for tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, we start out with clouds now. Remember that. Start out with clouds, but it will become sunny late morning into the afternoon. Still very cold, north winds 10 to 20. And even with sun tomorrow afternoon, upper 30s is the best we're going to be able to do for the lakes. And right around 40 in the triangle. 40, maybe a 41 here and there. And then once that sun sets tomorrow evening, that's when we're going to start dropping like a rock, because the skies will be clear tomorrow night. All right, let's go over that 7-day. 40 tomorrow, upper teens near 20 Tuesday morning, up to 47 Tuesday afternoon, so that's better. 29 Wednesday, up to 54 Wednesday, 56 on Thursday. But notice these lows. Even on Wednesday morning, near 30, that's still below freezing. Right around 30 Thursday morning, that's awful cold. And then a slight chance of showers Friday, 20%. Not a big, huge coverage, mainly near the coast. Another strong front comes in, 37 and 50 for Friday. And notice next weekend, back to the 20s for lows. But the good news is this looks like a dry front. Don't see any precipitation with this next front, so we won't have to worry about that. At least that's the way it looks right now. Of course, we'll have another update tonight.